Hey guys, it's Miss Moss here again with another Minecraft video, and today I decided to help this village here with their farming chores. So the first thing that they've asked me to do is feed all of their animals, so I'm just gonna ride my trusty pig here over to the barn and we can get started with that. He's so cute. And here we go. Here's all the animals. There's so many different kinds of animals. It's so fun here. So we're gonna start with all of the foxes, the camels, the cows, the cats, the chickens, and they laid me an egg, and now we have a little friend in the barn to help us feed. We're gonna feed the armadillos, the pandas, and finally the frogs. So now that I've done all those chores, it's time to head over to the crops so that we can plant some melons and pumpkins like they've asked me to. So back onto my steed, and we're gonna grab some equipment here, everything I need. And while we are looking at this, it is important to note that I will be looking at these plots as 5 longer strips instead of 1 individual block for each, so there are 5 instead of 10, and that will be important for our equation later. And I'm doing it this way just because pumpkins and melons tend to grow using 2 blocks instead of just 1, so we're going to just count them all as 1 straight block across. So I've got 4 plants planted there out of the 5 slots that I have. Now we're going to bone meal my melons. And we've got 3 there out of the 5 plots that we have.
1 eternity later.
So there we go. Now that they are fully grown, we can clearly see that there are 3 out of 5 of the spots taken for watermelon and 4 out of 5 of the spots on the other side taken for pumpkins. So what I want to know is, out of those 2 different plants, how many spots total are taken by the crops, by both the watermelon and the pumpkins. So over here I've set up a little equation, and it is an addition equation, and I know that it's addition because I'm trying to find the total space. Okay, so looking at our equation here, we have our 3/5 for the spaces that the watermelon are taking up, and the 4/5 for the spaces on the other side that the pumpkins are taking up. To help me out visually with this, I'm going to create a diagram. So I have this box here, and I know that my denominator tells me how many spots I'm supposed to have, which our denominator is 5, so I'm going to create 5 spots. There we go. Now I have my 5, and so next our numerator, we know, is going to tell us how many spots are filled in, which is 3, so I'm going to quickly fill in 3, and there we go. I have my diagram for 3/5. Next, we are going to be looking at 4/5. An important thing to note about addition with fractions is that the denominator has to be the same. So both of these have a 5 in the denominator, so we are good. And I'm going to just quickly create my 5 spots, since that's what the denominator tells me to do for that diagram. And our numerator is going to tell us how many spots to fill in, which is 4. So I'm going to fill in 4 of those spots. Now I have my images ready for this equation, and I can just solve this addition problem by looking at how many spots are filled in on each. So I'm going to start over on this side. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 total spots that are taken up in my land that I have over there. So I'm going to write 7 for my numerator. And then with our denominator, when we are adding or subtracting fractions, the denominator always stays the same all the way across. So we know that it's going to be a 5. And that 5 tells me that I need to have 5 spots. So for my picture, for that, I'm going to have 5. And we're going to fill out 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I don't have enough spots to fill out 7. So what we are going to do for that is we are going to create another box. And we are also going to put 5 here because it has to be 5 for all of them, because that's what our denominator says. So now we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need to get to 7. So we're going to fill out 2 more. And now we have 7 total filled out plots. So for my equation, we have 3/5 plus 4/5 equals 7/5. If we look at our diagram for our answer a little closely, we can see that we have 1 whole filled out spot. One of the boxes on the left is completely filled out, which we know we can write as a mixed number. So we have one whole box that's filled out. So I'm going to write my 1, and then I have 2 more filled out in my second box. So I can write 2 out of 5. So my equation, 3/5 plus 4/5 is equal to 7/5 or 1 2/5. So for the total amount of watermelon and pumpkins, I have 7/5 of my land taken with the crops, or 1 2/5 of my land taken with the crops. So now I know how much space is taken, and I can plan accordingly to harvest some more. Thanks for helping me, guys.